Don't go too far. You'll end up in Elisha Spring.
Well, this story happened in a much later period, the divided kingdom period after Solomon died and the kingdom was divided in north and south. And so we've advanced many hundreds of years from the time that we've been talking about. But at this particular time, Elisha had been the disciple of the prophet Elijah for, maybe 11 years or so. Now the time has come that God is going to take the prophet Elijah to heaven in a very unique manner. And I'm going to try to remember to call the younger guy Elisha and the older one Elijah, just to differentiate between them, because otherwise you might not understand what I'm saying. Well, one day, Prophet Elijah said to Elisha, you stay here. God is sending me on to Bethel. And Elisha responded with the strongest possible oath. He said, I am not staying behind no matter what. I'm going with you. And so the two of them went on down to Bethel. They got close. A group of prophets came out. And they said, hey, Elisha, did you know that God is going to take your master from you today? He said, I know it. You don't have to tell me. So they got to Bethel. And Prophet Elisha said to Elisha, you stay here in Bethel because God is sending me on to Jericho. Again, Elisha swore an oath that he would not leave him. He would not stay behind. So they went on and they came to Jericho. Again, a group of prophets came out. Said the same thing. Did you know that the Lord is going to take your master away from you today? He said, I know it. Shut up. And so right here in Jericho, Elijah said to Elisha, now you stay here. The Lord's sending me on to Jericho, to Jordan. And so again, Elisha says, as the Lord lives, I am not staying behind. I'm going with you, no matter what. So the two of them came to the Jordan River. And the prophet Elijah took off his cloak, rolled it up, struck the water with it, and the water divided this way and that way, and they walked across on dry ground. Now, when they got to the other side, Prophet Elijah said to Elisha, okay, now tell me what it is that you want me to do for you before I'm taken away. And Elisha said, I want a double portion of your spirit. Elijah said, oh, now you've asked a difficult thing. But if you see me when I go, you'll get it. If you don't see me, you won't get it. So they were walking along together down the road, talking probably. Suddenly, a flaming chariot drawn by horses of fire separated them, snatched the prophet Elijah up into the sky in a whirlwind. And Elisha standing there looking up, and he said, oh, my father, you've been like cavalry and horses and chariots for the nation of Israel. What are we going to do now that you're gone? And Elisha took his robe off and he tore it in two pieces. And as he stood there looking up, something fluttered down from the sky. Fluttered and hit the ground. And it was Prophet Elijah's mantle. Elisha walked over and picked it up, went to the Jordan River with it, rolled it up, struck the water, and he shouted, where is the Lord God of Elijah? Waters divided in two. 50 prophets were watching from a distance, a safe distance. They saw that and they said, you see that? The spirit of Elijah has come on Elisha. And they came and they bowed down before him. And they said, "Sir, just say the word. There are 50 of us here, and we can go look for your master. Maybe the Spirit of the Lord dropped him in some valley or on top of some mountain somewhere. Just say the word." And Elisha said, "No, don't go." But they just kept asking him until finally he said, "Go on and go if you got to go." So 50 men searched for Elijah for 3 days, couldn't find him. And they came back, and Elisha was still at Jericho. And they